Where to begin? All right, let's go here, and if there's more recap necessary, then we'll get into that. But for now, let's just do this. Maybe. And okay, so we will start our session as your party prepares your camp for a long rest on the eve of the beginning of your third week traveling in the jungles of Krazik. This will be basically the eve of day 15. Your journey to this camp started after scaring off a tribe of Batiri goblins who were waiting in ambush for you outside of the shrine of Man and Crocodile. And you went on to track your then missing guide, Azaka, into the jungle. Unbeknownst to you, you found her fighting that same group of goblins, though she was in the form of a wild Kraziki tiger at the time. You were able to again scare off the goblins, though this time with a little more flair and a little more bloodshed. Retrieving a crude replica of a foreign medallion from this deceased leader who was called Yaka, and seeming to help in reverting Azaka back to her human form, though for the next, I don't know how long, many hours she was unconscious. After spending most of the day burying the corpses of the goblins at the behest of Tiny, as he was hoping to not anger any spirits, you would make it back to the Shrine of the Man and the Crocodile, but not before Brett somehow tripped over a crude map in the thick, dark jungles, a map with an unmarked location nearby on it. When you got back to the Man and the Crocodile Shrine, Tiny spoke with the recently awoken Azaka about her tiger form, which she described to you as getting more and more out of her control since her family heirloom, a tiger mask, was taken from her by the Terra folk. She is beginning to believe that this mask may be what allowed her to control her gift. And the deeper she goes into these wild jungles without it, the more at risk she's becoming at losing control. And she did not wish to put the party at risk, but Tiny assured her she is wanted and trusted and that the party will help her get her mask back. In thanks, Azaka marked the location of Oralunga on your map where the oracle can be found in case something were to happen to her. It was then the party decided at best to leave the situation at the Shrine of the Crocodile, leaving your canoes that were broken by the Batiri goblins behind, kind of keeping them hidden in case you wanted to come back, fix them, and take back to the river. But with that very lucky map find, it was best to follow Lady Luck and go into the jungle for a 5 days travel where you encountered minimal wildlife, minimal encounters. And that is what brought you here, where we currently are, Tiny burying the body of a half-elven woman who he surmises perished when she was dropped from high above the jungle to her death, likely by the Terra folk due to the talon-like claw marks in her side. Nearby and on her person, you found some coin, you found a working spyglass, and a broken sending stone of sorts. Though it did retain the ability to recount past messages that it seemed to have received. For as Brett started investigating the device, a staticky message could be heard. Rue, we have arrived at Port Castiglia, though it's a damned graveyard horror show. Nothing here but mass graves and a long-since abandoned supply depot. The whole place is crawling with undead. We opted to avoid it as best we could. making landfall across the inlet where the river Oolong feeds into the sea. We're taking our dinghies upriver from here. The Starfallen will guide us. For the Yellow Banner, Lord Brixton. And that is where we jump in tonight's session. Y'all readying yourselves for the evening. If there's anything anyone wants to do, or any other information anyone wants to recount for the now back with us Maddie, the world is your oyster, whatever that means.
Is the dragon lady still with us?
She is. She is alive and well and not dead. And you guys have probably had some great conversations over the last few days. But nothing of substance. Very surface level conversations. Fairly one-sided. Because Maddie was just so quiet these last few days. So weird. But yeah, Zendala is present.
Can Maddie go find Zendala when she's kind of by herself?
Yeah, as you guys are getting ready for the camp, I mean, Tiny's got a lot of burying to do. I'm sure he's getting help putting that half elf in the ground. As you guys are getting ready for your evening's watches.
Mm-hmm.
You can find Zendala kind of off to the side somewhere, getting her area ready for the evening.
Does she have her scarf?
Yeah, you would know Summerwise, her small pseudo-dragon. He would be kind of just sitting somewhere in a low branch, just kind of basically resting there on a branch, looking very much almost like a long snake or something, just drawn out on there.
And is Maddie still the one who can see the dragon?
So he has been visible from time to time for everyone, but generally he does stay invisible, though Maddie seems to be able to see him when he is invisible, unlike the others. So currently he probably is visible, as he's just kind of laying there, just chilling. But a lot of the time he is invisible, but not to Maddie.
Maddie will walk up to her and maybe kick her feet a little bit, oddly bashful, and she'll be like, Zendala, I can see your dragon.
She'll kind of turn
all the time. When you had a scarf in the tavern, I know that was your dragon. And then she'll lean in and be like, I can see him.
She'll
Where did you get it?
Turn and look at you and yes, I've noticed that. It's an odd occurrence, honestly. He tends to keep very much to himself. But I've noticed lately that you've been tracking him from time to time as he flies above, invisible.
Does he have a name?
Yes, Summer. I call him Summerwise.
Summerwise.
And she'll kind of reach out, and he'll kind of crawl down her shoulder and then over towards you as she kind of extends her arm over towards you.
Kind of do the thing when you're a kid and you're on a field trip and the guy who handles the python is putting the python on your lap.
Yeah.
And most people are oh God, but then there's the one weird kid who's was probably Bartlett. who's like, yes, bring me the snake. Maddie would like to adopt that posture towards Summerwise.
Yeah, so like he like slowly takes it easy, but then if you will like kind of walk and like go under like the back of your neck and just kind of like basically like pair it on your shoulder. Just kind of like.
And she just was like a kid on Christmas. And then she just gets this very, like, way too serious look on her face and looks at Zendala and is like, thank you. And then she looks and she goes, if something happens to you out here, I promise to take care of him. I promise.
Oh, that's quite reassuring. I would hope so. He would be a bit lost without me, but I think if anyone could give him a nice home, it would likely be you. I've noticed you have kind of a bit of a thing for dragons. I saw your performance, the fire breathing, and is it an interest of yours?
Yes, they're so cool. And you want to know a little secret? And then she points to her left ear. And she goes, I have the bone of a dragon in my ear.
She like gives it a really like close look and it's like, oh wow, that's beautiful. Now where did you come across something like that?
I've always had it.
Of course. She like laughs.
Yeah, my mom and dad, I just always had it. They said, Maddie,
it's lovely. It suits you.
Thank you. How do you make friends with the dragon? Can you take me to where we can get dragon pets?
Well, Summer isn't quite a pet as much as a friend, I guess. He sort of chose me in the same way that I chose him. I found him actually in the Vale. Not sure how familiar you are with the Lamnic Wood, but that's where
we've been to the Lamnic before.
Yeah, that's where I came across him. He's pseudo-dragons are known to be more plentiful in the Feywild. That's where Summer's from. I think he found his way through to our side, somewhere in the Lamnic.
Oh,
that's where I came across him. He's a good boy. She pulls out just like a small piece of meat or something jerky. It just kind of like gives it to Summer, who happily eats it on your shoulder.
That's cool. Maybe someday I'll go back to Lamnic Woods and find, or the Feywild. I don't know where that is.
It's the plains are a bit confusing. It's all here and there at the same time. I bet Mythos could tell you a bit about that.
Oh yeah. And she'll give Summer back and thank Zendala and then run down Mythos.
As you start running away, she's like, oh, hold on, I think I have something here. And she starts digging through like her pockets and her pouches, trying to like locate something. And it takes her a minute, but eventually she pulls this like kind of like small thin gold bracelet out um, of um, of one of her pouches and is kind of holding it out. I noticed your how much you've kind of taken to watching Summer, and I had an inkling about the dragon business, and she kind of gives her like ear a tug, jokingly. And I came across this what was it, a few years ago, in Briarwood. Purchased this trinket here. And she'll kind of like hand it over to you for you to look at. And as she gives it to you, it is a gold bracelet, kind of like delicate and thin, where it wraps around your wrist. On one side, there is basically like where the two pieces of gold come together is a small like red gemstone, like multi-sided, basically like half of a D20, like flat on the bottom. And where the two pieces of gold come together, one of them is the tail of a dragon and the other is the head of a dragon where they meet. So it loops around. Basically the gold bracelet being a dragon. Without any, more of a serpent, I guess, but it looks like a dragon. Looks more like a dragon than it does like a snake or something. I purchased this a few years ago, and it's never really wanted to find a home with me. If you understand my meaning, it's always just been a bit annoying or fallen off, slipped off. I've never really got a good home for it. It's actually supposedly enchanted, but to be honest, I'm not sure it works. That jewel there, and she'll kind of tap the red jewel. Apparently, it glows when you get close to a dragon. And it's supposed to grow warm to the touch. Now, it's never done so in the presence of Summer. And so either the woman that sold it to me was a bit of a liar, or it doesn't work on pseudo-dragons. But if you can, if you'd like to wear it, if you'd like to hold on.
Oh, I'd love to. It's beautiful. And she's like looking at it, just like amazed. And it's like, this is so nice. Thank you so much. I will take such good care of it. And Maddie will heedlessly slip it on her wrist.
Yeah, as you put it on your wrist, there's this searing pain, and Zendala starts to laugh. I've got you now. No, nothing happens. You put it on, and yeah, it just. I mean, it does. It just is a bracelet. But as far as she knows, it supposedly is enchanted, and is meant to glow and grow warm in the presence of a dragon. But she has never seen it work before. So the only dragon she's supposedly been around is Summer.
All right.
As far as she knows. But yeah, so she gives you that little trinket.
Cool. I'll put it in the character sheet.
Heck yeah.
Maddie will thank her and then go bother Mythos.
Go bother Mythos as he's eating grapes in the corner. All right. Anything else this evening that anyone wants to do? Other than bury a body, Tiny.
I do have one more question. So yeah, I have 40 out of 34 hit points. Is there any reason why that would be the case?
Yeah. So there's a lot of hit point bumps happening, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember what they all are.
Did you level up?
I'm level 4, but I think I already leveled up. my hit points because there's no way I'd be at 40 hit points at level 4. That'd be like literally my max.
Will has a thing, right?
Yeah,
That he does
you
every
get
day?
6 a day from the speech.
Okay, that's what it is. I think I just bumped
Okay.
yours up along with everyone else's. Yeah, he gives a speech at the beginning of the day, which gives you the 6 temp hit points. And so,
Okay, so I also had. Okay, cool. All right,
that makes
thanks.
sense. That makes sense. Because yeah, Mythos has it too, so that makes sense.
Cool. Thanks.
Dope. What else? Anything else? Nada? Okay. Oh, I think I said this last time, but the stone, you can make a check on
Once
that
a day.
thing. Once per day, yeah.
Yep.
Investigation or Arcana.
The black box is what we'll be calling it.
The black box. Perfect. Beautiful. Okay. As you all settle into your watches, Azaka's pretty extra aware tonight, just because like you basically just traveled for 5 days into the jungle. 4 days about.
Yeah, how many days in theory are we from the X?
You're like, you should come. So the X, you don't know exactly where it sits.
Right, yeah.
But you feel like it should be within the next like half day. So like
Okay.
once you take off, like
We're
when
close.
yeah, exactly. So that's why Azaka's kind
Yep,
of like
got it.
kind of on edge tonight, more so than normal. On this day 14, I believe. Okay, but your watches pass peacefully. Nothing seems to get anyone's attention in the night, and you do wake up on day 15 as rested as you've been, because you haven't had to encounter anything the last 5 days.
So bizarre that we have traveled through a jungle of dinosaurs in our.
I'm telling you, you guys have hit some like brontosauri you see from a distance multiple times, which is hilarious. And you came across fucking secret jungle map.
Yeah.
In the middle of one of the nights during a heightened random encounter period, as some would say. So that's wild. But it happened. Things happen. And that's why dice are fun to roll. Anything, I mean, we're all getting the temporary hit points, I presume, in the morning from a speech. What's the speech sound like, Will?
Today's speech is on the majesty of the theater and underrated or overrated actresses.
Good.
And Brett
Very-
will have a thing to say about it.
It's good. It's very
Absolutely.
good. I love it. Okay. Of course. That's what else would it be about? All right. So let us talk about this day. If I can make this work. Oh my God, what is happening? Don't mind me. This is definitely set to nighttime. Woof. Hey. I have no idea what's happening over here. Things are great. Everything's fine. Don't worry. Everything's fine. Who would be worried at a time like this? There's just too many pages. I lose them all. Here's the player tab. Okay, is that Camp Righteous? There you are. I found you. Y'all are at Camp Righteous. There we go. Okay. Great. I promise I know what I'm doing. Totally good at this. Roll 20 thing. Okay. So, as the day goes on, you guys kind of take off in the morning. Azaka leading you in the general direction of the X on your map. And she's kind of telling you the further we get kind of into this part of the jungle, as she dubbed it, kind of thick jungle area, the more on edge she kind of gets, and like is kind of telling you all to really like be on your best lookout, like keep your eyes peeled, because she's not really sure how accurate that map is, as far as like, and no one knows what this X that we're heading to is. As you guys kind of near that high sun period, as like the jungle is getting to that, they call the streams of light kind of coming from directly above through the canopy. There are more and more of these game trails that Azaka starts to point out. Some of which you're able to kind of follow for a little while, and then she starts to notice like more of these trails, and they seem to start like converging into one.
Like trails used by hunters?
Yeah, a lot of these seem like animals, like probably easily pass through this part of the underbrush. It's maybe a little easier for animals to pass through, and then also maybe hunters to follow these animals, whatever those hunters may be, larger predators. And at first, it's a pretty normal occurrence to see like these trails where like small game kind of easily kind of starts to travel through here, and then larger game starts to use these trails. But as these trails, like she starts to notice them like all starting to form, and the basically a main trail getting larger and more trodden down. She starts to kind of like point this out, and that's sign that there's like a lot of movement through this area. And the more like apparent that is, like essentially like there's almost the what looks to be like a path through the underbrush, where it's all kind of beaten back, and in some areas it almost looks trimmed back. Like specifically, some of the trees appear to be almost like trimmed back a bit to make these areas a little more easily passable. And Azaka is definitely on edge at that, but as she kind of like looks at the map, looks back to you all, like she's like, it appears that we're on track to run into this X if we continue down this route. But from her point of view, like, I am weary. This mark here is we are close to, somewhat close to the Batiri Goblins' last known encampment. And that on your map is marked by the orange circle. Yeah.
Good.
But
Let's do it.
we are heading in the opposite direction, so it is... I do not know what this is, but this is a lot of movement through these parts. More so than any small game or even larger predators would make. This looks intentional. I'm not sure what type of place we are coming upon.
I hope it's those goblins. I'm ready. They fucked with our canoes. Plus, they have no taste. They have no style. People like that can't stand. They either need to be educated one way or the other, if you will.
Yeah, she'll actually like kind of like seem to nod and be like, yes, everyone be on your best. If it is the goblins, we can handle them. And she'll start kind of going forward and basically start moving fairly slow and asking basically everyone to roll stealth checks as you're moving through this part of the jungle. Gamos doesn't stupid stealth. I guess she technically has to roll too, huh? And Zendala. What the heck? Oh, this is funny. I guess I can put this in the chat now. So
Did she get like advantage because of her tiger?
no, well, she does on perception. That's based on hearing or smell. But her scimitar attack had parentheses human form only in the title. So like there was like a moment when you guys started attacking something and I was like, oh shit, like I had to go in and delete that part. Like so like when she's like claw, tiger or hybrid form only. Like it was a dead fucking giveaway. I was like,
That's
okay,
funny.
man, that's really
Huh,
funny.
I wonder what human form only means.
You're like, what? What stupid shit is that? Yeah, that was pretty good. Okay. Perception. Does she have perception? She does. +5. Nice. Oh, I'm stealthing. God damn. She does have +4 stealth. Nice, Michael.
You burned 2 great rolls.
What a fucking
Screwing around.
What a waste. It's a solid 11s. Oh my god. How terrible is that?
We're really feast or famine
Yeah, that is so.
with like, I guess it's a good distribution. Like Red and Zendala
Yeah,
are perfectly
just-
average.
Totally like what you'd expect from a human walking through the jungle.
Maddie, Tiny, and Gorm? Question mark. Surprisingly stealthy. And then
Yeah.
Gamos and Azaka trip over each other and land.
Yeah. Seriously. Obnoxious. So dumb. Okay, so even with some of the bad antics of Mythos interfering with Azaka's movements, offering her food or something, you guys are able to move pretty quietly for the next 30 or so minutes. And like it seems to ease Azaka a bit as you guys are moving through here, not drawing a lot of attention. If there is anything to draw attention from, who's to say? But at one point, you start to hear some sounds ahead. Muffled at first, and it kind of like makes Azaka really hunker down. But then every so often you're able to hear a little more clearly, and it is pretty distinct that it is voices. And then furthermore, it's pretty distinct that it's voices that you guys have kind of heard in the last few days. These are like days, I guess, previously. These are like a little higher pitched, throaty, goblinish noises. And though no one speaks goblin here, you can now recognize the way these Batiri goblins were kind of talking. And this sounds somewhat like low and like, and you can't really make out what is being said, obviously, but it's like you can just hear that from somewhere up ahead. And then there's this moment where you hear this croak, this like very frog-like but like large, throaty croak somewhere in the surroundings. It seems like it's coming from the trees, and then like you hear the goblins just kind of stop, and then the goblin voice just kind of like yells something into the jungles. Then you hear like all these echoes and croaks just like very loudly, and they sound like they're coming from every which direction, some in front of you, some behind you. They just like up in the trees, these echoing frog like ribbits and croaks, and then they just slowly die off, and you hear that same like goblin-y like, and then it sounds like the goblin conversation just kind of continues.
If I had to guess, like how close or far away do the goblins sound?
Roll perception, if you will. I mean, it's not that far, but depending on your thing, I can give you like a more exact, maybe. Yeah, I mean, hundreds of feet, maybe, within probably like 200 or so feet. Like you can hear it clear enough that you're like, there is something ahead. As far as you can tell, there aren't a lot of goblin voices, and there is one main goblin voice. For you goblin voice savants out there.
Can we do a check on that frog noise?
Yeah, actually.
What kind of check?
Maddie will lean over and whisper to Azaka and be like, "What was that?"
Nature check. Let's see if anybody knows, and then I'll tell you what Azaka does.
Wow.
Hey. Right as Azaka is about to tell Maddie, Brett butts in and tells Maddie what it is. Marshall, go ahead.
Naturally, it's the trihorn frog. We've used them as instruments before you came on the tour, Maddie.
Thank you for that.
Yep.
So Brett knows that it is. Maybe he talked to some people back in town. Who knows how he came across the knowledge of these little guys here. Grung is what that likely is. Did that pop up?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Aren't those guys cute?
They're very cute.
Grungs are sentient, poisonous frogs that live in trees. If Volo existed in this world, Volo is quoted as saying that, along with "Truly, the gods hate us." After that, but grungs are aggressive frog-like humanoids found in rainforests and tropical jungles. Brett can tell you, and Azaka will echo this, that they are fiercely territorial and see themselves as superior to most, if not all, other creatures.
Fantastic.
So she, as immediately as those croaks go out, like if she wasn't already fully stopped, she now is, with her hand like up, like, they do not know we are here. They seem to be focused on the goblins, but it seems the goblins know they are there as well. If we can avoid an encounter with the Grom, that would please me. It sounds like there are many around. And she starts like kind of like scanning the trees.
Anything for you, Zaka dear?
And you hear the goblin kind of still like the speaking of the goblin ahead. Still kind of going on.
After that explanation, do we think the goblins are being like subservient to them?
You can roll an insight check. Tough one, I'll tell you. Yeah, it's hard to tell exactly like that. That could be a possibility, but it's hard to tell. That kind of like frog echo just kind of all seemed to ring out at once, and then slowly kind of die off. And now you haven't heard a croak. Azaka, like, if only I spoke Grum. But she does not. She does not speak Grum, turns out.
So is she having us like stand motionless, or
yeah, right. Currently, you guys are all just kind of chilling, motionless, and she's like probably like looking at the map and like she'll like kind of like it seems we are approximately right on the general area of this. It's somewhere quite close, but it is a risk.
What are with my natural 20?
Yeah.
Do I know what the Grung are afraid of? Or what does Zaka know?
They don't really have any natural predators.
Really?
Mostly because they are poisonous, and eating them is not good for you.
Got it.
So they don't really have natural predators as far as she's like the other tribes of aggressive creatures such as goblins or the veg pygmies, the intelligent creatures. The tribes don't all get along. But as far as something to fear, I do not believe the Grung fear much.
Great. Or tiny creatures with an inferiority complex.
Yeah.
Bet these little bastards have never seen a show once in their lives.
The only shows that they probably see
uncultured swine
are those of blood. If we move forward to see what these goblins are doing ahead, we might risk drawing the ire of the crown. But I also do not know where to look for this marking. It seems to be this area.
I'm going to, because I picked up the goblin within like 100, 200 feet roughly.
Yeah, probably about somewhere within 200 feet ahead.
Okay.
And it doesn't, from the sound of it, like everyone's probably can like hear a little stronger of a sound, and it's like it doesn't sound like they're moving.
I want to do one more perception check now, knowing like a little bit that these are grung and the idea that they're probably lying in wait above us somewhere. Could I try and look to see if I see like rustling of leaves or just because they haven't seen us doesn't mean we don't have a shot at seeing them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Back to good old plain white toast bread.
Maddie's gonna go to Zendala and be like, Can Summerwise like scout and see what's up ahead?
She kind of will look down and look to you. He could, but it's quite a big risk. Summer isn't the heartiest creatures. And, I don't like to risk him in situations such as this. One well-placed shot from an arrow or dart, and Summerwise would be no more. I don't like to put him in a place where he can be looked at as prey.
Connor's thinking, even when he goes invisible, but Maddie sagely nods her head and just thinks this is very wise.
Did I get anything off that check, Michael?
No, as you're kind of looking through the trees, like you're not spotting anything in particular.
Brett is going to pull out his wand of magic missiles. And he would like to use a charge to send 3 darts at their full range and kind of hit 3 points kind of in like a cone area, so to speak. And just kind of like he's basically just trying to like shake the snow globe just to touch to see if he can get someone to go investigate what is that, explosion of force hitting a tree. What's the source of that?
Love it. Into that. Which direction are you planning to do it?
Towards the goblins.
Towards the goblins.
The vision here is, if the grung are somewhere above us, the goblins are somewhere ahead of us. Maybe he can hit something that's kind of in the middle and see if we can get one of them to show themselves so we can either avoid them or kill them or see what's going on.
Love it. So yeah, you fire off these 3 like bursts of like arcane force, these like shots of light up into the air, and they just like weave through the trees until they immediately like find their mark, hitting this tree kind of right.
3 different spots.
Okay, but in the same like area in the edge of their range, just like boom, boom, boom. There's these like basically like these noises of the trees shaking, the underbrush kind of flying up into the air as they impact, and as they impact, there is this massive echoing of these croaks. It just like is like amplified. Louder than it was, and it is intense. And as you guys are just like sitting there, like basically waiting, the amplification like slowly fades away until there are a few just like trailing off rivets, rivet, rivet, rivet. And then it is fucking as quiet as the jungle has been. Just completely and utterly silence.
The goblins aren't doing their thing anymore.
Everyone is in, like, you can, there's no movement. Like, you can hear the breeze roll through. It is just like this, like, uncomfortably tense silence in the jungle.
I'm content to wait it out. I don't know what everyone else wants to do.
Just super tense, super silent.
Can I look around again?
Yeah. Yeah, as you start like looking around in this like moment, just like peering through the trees, probably like 40 feet ahead in the distance, you like pick out what maybe something you completely overlooked before. This like green like shape with this like these black spots on the back that's kind of just like hugging this tree like 40 foot. It's probably it's up in the canopy of the tree. But this like small frog creature that you can like see, and this is like the first one that you've spotted, but you can see it up there, and it is just like holding still, like a fucking statue on that tree. Like it's not looking around anywhere. It's just like holding in place.
Anyone have thoughts? I don't know if I've scared them into submission, or because it's not a situation like where, you know, I'm locking eyes with this thing or it feels like he's got the beat on me. It's like just gone into Tharn state.
They're all
It's
just
freeze.
silence.
I say we just go for it. It's
All right,
probably not as many grungs. Like there's probably like they have some way to amplify to make them be louder. And like, what the hell? We can always run away.
How tall is Maddie compared to a goblin?
Great question.
I don't know how tall.
That's a great start to a conversation.
Yeah.
I think.
I'm in. Whatever it is, I'm in.
She's got to be at least double the height of them, I would assume. I feel like they're short. A goblin can't be that tall.
What's the idea?
Maybe like a goblin is 3.5 feet tall, I would guess.
Yeah, Maddie's at least got like, you know, over a foot on them.
What about the leader that we just killed? The average size goblin?
Yeah, he was maybe a smidge taller than average size.
2 inches. He towered over them.
That kind of helps in the leading position. Usually the larger ones are the stronger ones.
Preach.
Well, if we're going to be moving up there anyway, we've got the mask. And Maddie could have a prisoner and command her underlings to give us safe passage, as she has a, it's the Chewbacca ploy.
Yeah,
I love it. Yeah, we're going. Put those stormtroopers outfits on. It's good.
I'm sure Maddie speaks fluent Goblin.
Yeah, I was gonna say, does anyone speak Goblin?
Well, yeah, it would have to be a "you swine don't deserve to speak our native tongue, speak to me in common" sort of conversation.
Good. I love it. Do we have any way to speak Goblin? Does anybody know?
Not at level 4.
There is the scroll to understand them, at least.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How about this? So Maddie has an ability that lets her like re-roll charisma checks. So maybe we like, if we're trying to like, and we could just try to intimidate them. You know, like
Well, that's why I asked what they were afraid of, because we did that pretty successfully last session. The problem is, like, I have minor illusion, which can make a noise. It only goes 30 feet though, so it's not like I could send it, 100 feet ahead and get them terrified. That's why I went with magic missile, because that was the only thing that had range.
yeah. I mean, I assume we just need to. I assume we need to fight the grungs, or else we're going to get like surrounded by them, and they're who we can see.
See one.
Yeah, but if you shoot one or something, I think all hell breaks loose. And at least like all hell breaks loose and we're like a fighting army and not, theoretically trapped.
Did I see any weapons on the grung?
Mayhaps.
Like
Because-
a bow or dart?
Because my impression,
You can see that he's got like some type of like wooden thing like sheathed, but it's hard to tell exactly what it is.
Yeah, let's
Well,
keep going forward, I guess.
Okay.
What were you gonna say?
I would say let Chaos Reign is my vote.
Croft? Preston?
Let's move forward.
Okay.
Mm,
You want to sneak? Try and get a visual as you move forward.
Sure.
Of it. You'll have to see it. Let's see if I've got some better sneaky rolls here. From Asaka, 13, better than before, shockingly. Oh yeah, baby. Things are good. Things are great. Look at Gamos.
Great job, Maddie.
Yeah. Wow. Middling, a lot of middling,
Yep.
and some terrible. Mostly. As you guys start moving forward, there is this moment where there's this like cracking noise under your foot. Someone's foot, who's to say? Could have been Brett's. Could have also easily been Gonzalez. And then there is, from the silence, this kind of like this ribbiting, these croaks kind of ring up again. And you can actually, as you like look up and around you, you can see from the trees kind of closest to you, these grung springing from tree to tree. And there are, you count at least 10 of them that you see from these nearby trees, but they're springing away from the trees, like around you. And you can see them start to move through these trees. And as you're kind of looking, they're almost seeming to like be making a sort of wide perimeter around you as they move out of the trees above you. And there are grung of all differing colors, mostly green, but a few like of these like bright yellow colored grung and a few like red grung just like shooting out of the trees above you. But they seem to be aware of your presence, and they seem to be trying to be farther away from you, and they're just croaking. And Azaka starts looking at the trees above. I have never known a Grum not to attack at first sight of prey. And she's like very weirded out as she's like watching them like move kind of in this thing. And then you hear another goblinish calling out like in your general direction. And then the croaking gets louder. And then the croaking kind of like quiets down. But instead of going away, the croaking never really disappears. It's just like vaguely present around you. And as you kind of look up into the trees, every once in a while you can see like a Grum, and it's just kind of like looking at you through the trees. As they're like kind of just like looking down at you through the trees, but they're all kind of like moving, and sometimes you see one jump to another tree and then just kind of like looking down upon you, but they're keeping at least 30 feet around you at this point.
Well, I have like two ideas. They've either struck a deal to combine attack us, or they're really scared of us. One of the two.
If I had a drop that was just a bunch of ribbits, man, now would be the time, right?
Now would be the time. And as we've been walking, like, have we, we felt like we were close, but we don't know what we're looking for. Have we noticed a change in our scenery?
Yeah, roll, let's roll perception. Why don't you? You're kind of like looking on.
Come on, Preston. Can do it. Beat the DC 15. Yay.
You got advantage on that?
I do. Mm-hmm.
Heck yeah, solid. So yeah, you, Maddie, Brett, Gamos, you all actually start like picking out that as your guys are moving closer, like that this like ground is kind of beat down and like cut back in areas, making it like a lot easier to pass through. And maybe Gorm is distracted by the fucking frogs jumping through the trees around him, above him. But Tiny, you actually get a glimpse. You're probably like nearing, who's to say, somewhere in the 80-foot range to these like goblins ahead of you. And Tiny, you actually get a glimpse of this like, large, oversized wooden mask that you had. Something similar that you'd seen earlier in the day, this like insectoid painted mask that these goblins were wearing earlier. And you do see one moving through the brush ahead, and you can actually see, as can some of the others, see these like what look to be like ruins in the jungle, kind of blending into some of the brush that's been cut back. There are a few like few instances of like ruined structures that are like covered in vines, pretty easy to blend in, but they are like very ancient looking, like hand-built structure, small like homes or something. It's very hard to tell exactly what maybe they were, but these are just pieces of these structures that still exist here, wherever here is, that you can see like poking out. Tiny, with that crit, you see this little goblin, and then maybe you see another through the trees that no one else kind of picks up on. That's nearing 80 feet away from you at this point, and you're looking through some trees and maybe through a couple of these ruins where you see these goblins. But you also see that standing next to some of these like ruined structures and like creepers and ferns is this statue that you get a glimpse of as all of these croaks rain down. This is a 8-foot tall humanoid statue that you see the goblins are very close to. This statue is humanoid in shape, and it has these like large, oversized bronze fists to its side. It has iron joints and what you presume is an adamantine breastplate. An iron helm with 2 slits for eyes. And the rest of the statue is made from this dark sculpted wood, reinforced with bands and rivets of adamantine. And near these goblins, past these goblins, scattered around its feet are all these like small trinkets. You can see food kind of mixed in with feathers and sparkling like what looks to be coins and maybe colored stones, as well as a few skulls dotted around in these creepers and undergrowth. And it looks like, let's see if I have a picture. It looks kind of like this. And that's where we're going to take a break.
What's up?
See you guys in a couple minutes. Tiny sees that, standing amongst the ruins, a few goblins in front of it. Just a glimpse as this croaking goes on around you and above you. These frogs just darting from tree to tree, looking down at you, keeping a bit of a wide berth. And then you hear the sounds of goblins in the distance kind of calling out. This time it seems a little more in your general direction. And I'm going to move you onto a map. Here. You guys are down here. Bottom. What Tiny had seen and where you guys are moving towards is more towards the center in this direction. If you can see my pings. If you can't see my pings, you can zoom out a little bit. That's the general direction, although there are obviously some shits in your way. In the form of some of these. I think I have the Explorer mode turned on, which is why some things look gray to me. It's very strange. But I think it might be cool.
Kind of looks cool.
But yeah, it is. We're just jumping on the map, so we have something different to look at the moment. Don't feel like you need to fight something just because we're on a map. Just fun. Also, thanks to Neutral Party on Patreon for this map. That is definitely not a jungle, but close enough. Kind of looks like a map that I would use for Berez.
Yep, totally.
But that's neither here nor there.
Deep cut.
Yeah, neither here nor there. There is no walking hut in this area, as far as you know.
Is this actually water in the middle or just part of the map?
So that, treat that as kind of these like much more beaten down, cut back path areas.
Got it. Okay.
So those portions of the map.
Got it.
Yeah. So, in the midst of this chaos, as I would call it, what are you guys doing? What's everybody doing? Tiny, if there was a spot I could put you that, oh, maybe here. Maybe Tiny's like here. How's that, Tiny?
That's fine.
Because then you can see what I said you saw.
Yeah. They are worshiping a statue, perhaps?
What kind of statue?
Something with armor.
Tiny, are you proficient in Arcana?
Yes.
Roll an Arcana check.
Ooh.
Tiny, you are actually, as you look onto this, I don't know if you read about it in a book or if you'd seen one at some point in your life, but as being proficient in Arcana, and with that skill check, you can actually recognize that statue is not just a statue. It is, in fact, known as a shield guardian. Shield guardians date back actually to the in this world to the Giant Wars. Shield guardians were used on the side of the small folk in a way to basically attack the giants, and they are basically defenders of wizards and the like, and created by wizards to basically be the defender of the squishy magic folk. Damage absorbers and basically shields for those squishy wizards that exist. Especially at this time, shield guardians are probably a bit more prevalent, more often seen, because as we know, in the coming years, they will not be very prevalent at all, as magic will leave us one day soonish. But they'd probably be pretty helpful in like a random incursion by primordials that may or may not be on the horizon. So if someone's character wants to try to live through that, having a shield guardian could be important. Who's to say?
Who's to say?
Do you think it's worth a lot of money? Maybe we can take the statue back and pay off some of Mythos's debt.
It is a shield guardian, but whose?
Roll Tiny. I'll give you what if you can crit one more time, Mike. I'll give you
Yeah, right.
Give me a perception check.
Oh, well, it's a better chance of that. Maybe? Damn.
Not bad.
I mean,
though.
you hit the same number.
22. As you're kind of looking at it, as you're saying that, like, but who's? You see, like, upon its chest is this kind of like familiar-looking symbol, and you immediately like snap into what it is, and it looks a lot like the medallion
That Brett
that Brett had, though it's a lot less homemade looking, I would say, than that one is. But it's like emblazoned on its chest, this sigil that Brett took off of, this medallion that Brett took off of Yaka, the dead goblin.
Ew.
The goblins in front of it are like kind of like pointing around, and they're also looking at the trees in this weird thing. One thing of note with that perception, just rolling over, the goblins have spears and weapons on them, but they are not drawing them. They're like holding their arms out at the side in this weird and awkward, like looking up at the trees, pointing in your general direction. It's an interesting. It's an interesting looking moment. This, just a lot of heightened energy going on at the moment.
This Mexican
Yeah.
standoff.
This is going to be
Yeah.
very, very expensive. It just has these frogs are dashing from tree to tree. At least they're blurry. We don't have to spend a lot on CGI there. But the tension is high, and people are at the edge of their seats, wondering what's going to happen next.
Looking at Gorm. No. Looks at Brett, then Gorm. There is a symbol on the chest that matches the necklace you have from the goblin you killed.
I'll kind of walk over to Tiny and like take a look, and so like a shield guardian, does that thing move?
Oh, I do have a handout. Damn. How's that?
That's fun.
That is
Yeah.
fun.
How tall did you say it was?
8
Like
feet.
8
8 feet.
tall.
Okay.
So this might be a
Bigger than me.
long shot, but you mentioned them being on the field in the giant war.
I did.
Um,
Someone else here was on that field.
Someone else was on that field. Does he know anything about a connection between a necklace and a shield guardian, or how to tell if they're
Yeah.
active or not?
Yeah, how about I'll give you a history or arcana, your choice.
It's, well, I was going to say it will never be arcana, but actually it will be somehow.
Right?
I'm so excited.
Good. It's good.
Oh wow.
Perfect.
Yeah, I mean,
Let's start making shit up.
I bet you remember seeing these things in some fashion, but I don't think Gorm really cared how they worked, because they were probably, to his knowledge, I mean, they were probably like interfering with what he wanted to get done. You know, like it's just another fucking no. I don't need to, like. How am I going to get my glorious death if I don't go out and kill these things myself? A tool for weak people. I don't know.
That's what it is.
So Tiny. Does that thing move? Does it come to life?
It probably does, with the right phrase, word, interaction.
I wonder if my amulet could make it move. And Brett will put on the amulet and like just start. He doesn't even know, obviously he doesn't know what he's trying to do, but he's concentrating hard. It was VORN. And Brett will just say, "Vorn, Vorn, Vorn," and like just concentrating hard. And like his, then he looks up. Anything happened?
The goblins have gotten like somewhat closer, but are like basically forming this weird arc, like half arc, and the frogs have all but as you guys have paused, they've all but kind of paused as well, and you can see them like looking around the trees at you. Some of them with rather aggressive looks on their face, and like doing these like really big throaty and you get the sense they're trying. Some of them are trying to intimidate you. Some of them seem to be confused by your presence here. It is just as much chaos, it seems, for them as this moment is for you, as they are all like looking down at you, and there's these croaks and everything. The statue is unmoving currently.
Y'all, I have like the stupidest idea that I'm really tempted to try. Just depends on if we want to fight these things or not.
Let chaos reign.
All right.
Let the Lord of Chaos reign.
Okay. Brett wearing actually, before I walk out, I want to try one more thing. I will reach out with my hand and say, "Vorn, come to me." And does anything happen with the statue?
As you kind of step out and reach out your hand in that direction, how loud are you saying that?
Just, like to myself, not shouting it or anything.
Just curious.
Yeah.
You kind of like say that to yourself, and you can hear these like echoing croaks in the distance, and like the goblins are like starting to like talk to one another, and you can like hear them talking to one another, and they like look back at Vorn, and then look back at you, and they're talking, and the croaks just kind of wildly everywhere coming down. There is no change in the statue.
All right.
It just continues to stand in that badass stance.
Brett is going to start walking towards the center, if you will, I think, because like
I love it. You love to see it.
Yeah. And he will first address the goblins, but really, this whole wonderful scene that he's found himself in.
Yeah, of course.
And I will be using prestidigitation to make my voice super loud.
As he moves up,
Yeah.
I look at Gorm and ask him for the face mask that he has,
Love it.
All right.
and then I walk up with him.
Do you put it on?
No, I'm just holding it.
Okay.
Carry on.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I hope that didn't. I wasn't doing that at you, Preston. This was Brett. Brett was in character there.
Good. It's good.
Creatures of the jungle. Booming, echoing voice, as loud as I can. We have come to claim our right. Vorn is ours by all right.
You hear just this massive croak, just as you say that, all around you in the trees, echoing.
We slew Yaka the weak 5 days ago. And as our right, as the claims of victory, I will hold the medallion up in the air.
As you hold it up in the air, the 5 goblins that are standing in front of you all kind of like do this like like get low and kind of like looking around to one another. They all seem to look to one in particular, the one that has this cool mask, and they're all kind of like looking towards him, and he's like basically like, I don't fucking know. They look like a bit of a hot mess, the goblins.
Great.
Do they look like they've understood anything he said?
Oh, I'm sure they haven't understood a word.
Roll an insight check, if you will. Hard to tell. This is a very chaotic moment. Hard to tell.
Tiny will be
Signing.
translating with his speech of beast and leaf.
Love it. Love to see it. You trying to call a goblin a beast? How rude of you. That's good. All right. I'm imagining Tiny signing now.
Yeah,
That's fine. We can sign.
Signing to the leaves.
Yes.
The rules of the tribe and the jungle are clear. With Yaka dead at our hand, this is ours now. And I will begin walking forward again. Be gone and let us claim our right in peace, or suffer the same fate as Yaka the Weak.
Roll intimidation.
Oh my gosh. Come on, that was so good.
So you watch as these goblins, like basically all kind of like they look quite scared and quite like very unsure of things that are going on right now, and they're like getting out of your way, and they're like holding their hands out towards you as you're saying this, like very low to the ground, as low as they can be as you're walking forward with this like kind of medallion that you have placed over you. And they're like, and the croaking is like sporadic and coming from all different directions. It's not constant in any means, and it is the most chaotic that it's been this whole time. And you just get this like sense that there is just confusion and chaos, and it is a moment to behold that you're now standing in the middle of.
Seeing them having parted the Red Sea.
Yeah, very much so. And they're like non-aggressive. They have no weapons out. They're like, if coup de grace was a thing in this game, you could walk up and fucking stab them in the back of the head and kill them in a second. Like they are like totally defenseless.
Brett, you're unmuted, Cotter. Brett will go up to the statue and take off what I am praying is the real medallion and put it around his neck, and will once again say, well, as he's doing that, he'll look. Does it say the same word, VORN?
So the thing that's around his neck seems attached.
Oh,
to him.
damn.
It like as you reach out, like thinking like you're like, oh shit, like this thing is like a part of him. Like this thing is not removable.
Can I look at the goblins? Do I see any one of them wearing it?
Yeah, even without a check, you can like look over the goblins, and there is that one goblin in particular that definitely looks like the quote unquote leader of these goblins. And yeah, none of them have any like nothing on them looks anything similar to what you're holding, nor nor anything fancy.
Not even the lead goblin.
Not even the lead goblin. His mask is a little more elaborate, but as you look it over, it's like you can tell it's like got like a few very new paint splatters and maybe a few new like pieces like attached to it, like, and it looks hastily done. But other than that, there's nothing fancy about anything that they have on them.
Damn it.
But they are all just like currently
Yeah.
like down.
Yeah, totally. Mhm.
Like, totally in awe of this moment as the croaking just continues from the trees above.
I will turn now and, with my arm, just be gone. Leave us now. And we'll use minor illusion to, make the... to make like the sound of thunder echo after my voice.
Love it. As you say that, the goblins like kind of like get up and they sprint into the woods. Different directions. They all.
You
just kind of
traded the amulet?
run into the jungle.
What's that?
You traded the amulet with the statue?
No, so-
Go ahead, Connor.
No, you're good.
I was gonna say, like, it's clear. It's not clear. It seems like a very reasonable chance that this is a knockoff, fake one that Yaka made, because Michael was very clear. He said it looks homemade, right?
Yeah, it's like painted and
Yeah.
Made of like rocks and shit. It's and wood.
And has a different character of mine has held a real amulet. Pretty confident it's not it. Went up to the statue thinking the real one was just around his chest and the goblins didn't know any better. And Michael is saying that it's not a removable necklace. The real one is not
that's
here.
on it looks a lot like what you're wearing currently, but it is attached. It is like a piece of the design of this thing. It seems like whatever you're holding was modeled after whatever is around this thing's neck. And this whole time, the goblins run out into the woods. The grung are still in the trees, still looking down upon you, still croaking. Some of them still looking rather aggressive. Some of them looking confused. There's a lot of movement in the trees around you. But as you kind of look at them, like none of that, like some of them have bows like strung to their back. None of them have them drawn and pointed at you.
Okay.
Can Maddie do like a perception check around the to see what
Yeah, absolutely.
interesting amongst the stuff that they have brought?
Yeah, so like as Brett walked through, like he walked through a bunch of random stuff, and like Maddie, as you're kind of looking around, there's like tons of like feathers, which you can tell are from like dinosaurs and birds. There's rocks that are painted all sorts of different colors, bones, skulls, whatnot, and there's a large amount of coins of all colors, gold, silver, copper, kind of dashed around everywhere in this area, along with a bunch of random other things that you get the sense with your 11 that it might take a little time to dig through and sift through what may or may not be valuable here, because it's just like a lot to look in. But they have like cut back all of the vines and creepers that were upon the statue, and a lot of the ruins. It's all been kind of like cut back and cleared off. But some like fallen leaves and stuff and sticks and stuff have kind of fallen into the area and not recently been cleaned. So yeah, it might take a little time to dig through it all, but you get the sense that there is definitely some value here in at least the monetary sense, if not, if there's some things here that might be worth more money than others. Just might take some time to dig through. As the frogs croak on.
I'm going to try something, and I hope that I have a modicum of trust built up with Brett by this point.
You let Brett literally just walk out into the middle of a clearing, you know. So, yeah, fire away.
Well, when you say fire away, he's going to look at Brett and say, "Hey, hotshot, I'm sick of your shit, and you're not that good looking either." And he's going to throw a javelin at him.
Okay.
Amazing.
That hits.
Did it? Anybody
Yeah.
guard him?
As you chuck this javelin through the air, we zoom in on this javelin and we see these images of the past. We see these images of Gorm, a younger man, and he is fucking just slicing the Achilles out of a giant. This giant screaming, this large frost giant. I don't know. Maybe he's a frost giant. Maybe he's a stone giant. Who knows what he is? He's a big ass giant. And it's just screaming and falling to the ground. And we see, as he looks around and he sees in the distance, this very squishy looking old wizard fighting against a plethora of fire giants. Fire giants just coming down on him. And out of nowhere, it seems, this shield guardian comes, getting in the way of the blows of these swords from the fire giants, clanging off of its armor before it lets out this massive fireball out of its chest. Or, you know, it's a very cool moment that we see in the mind of Gorm, younger Gorm. And then we cut back. And we cut back moments too late as 8 points of piercing damage just slams into Brett's shoulder as the javelin hits. And Brett just, oh God! Screams.
Why did you do that?
He'll come and retrieve his javelin out of Brett and say, "I think your amulet is broken."
No shit.
And you are moderately handsome.
It's been a while since I've given a bottle cap out, but Will, you get a bottle cap for that one. Throwing a javelin at your friends, love it. It's great. You guys should do that shit more often.
What was the first clue? When I said it wasn't working?
Oh God.
That's hilarious. I knew that entire time Michael was talking to us like, I'm just gonna get smoked.
Yeah, sorry, I was just.
Oh, that was amazing.
I was eating. Oh damn.
Are you gonna at least have the decency to lay on hands 8 hit
Well,
points?
I can't do too much because he had the 6th temp.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah,
I forgot
I'm
about
down
this.
2 hit points. I'm
He's
fine. I'm just pissed.
Fine.
Forgot about that.
Fine.
Do we want to sort through the stuff?
Yes.
Take 20.
Yeah, I love it.
Want to find the real amulet.
If you guys take 20, you'll note as you start looking through the pile of stuff, the echoes of frog noises get louder and more aggressive. As you can see, as some of them in the trees get a little bit closer to you, but some of the other ones, you can physically see putting their hands on some of their shoulders and pulling them back. Some of them may be reaching for their weapons, and others are basically making them holster their bows. And some of them are like just really doing the like throat thing at you guys. But none of them are making any actual movements toward their weapons or aggressions in those forms towards you. Though they are obviously trying to be threatening.
A lot of hold me back, bros, coming from
A lot
the
of
frogs.
hold me back bros. And as you're looking up like into these trees, like there are a lot of them. And like the more as time goes on, the more of them that you're starting to see in these trees. Like there are a lot of frogs up there. But they're not seem to be making any movements upon you. Just a lot of threatening, a lot of intimidation attempts, basically, coming from these froggy boys.
While they're hunting through that loot, I'll ask Asaka right quick. Basically, is this the axe? Did we find this, or is this not what the map is giving us?
Yeah, as she's starting to like look, she's like, this must be close. I cannot believe that there's anything else this close to here. This must be it.
I'm going to take, while Maddie and maybe others are sorting through the loot, I'm going to take a little time that I know won't matter to look, see if the real amulet's somewhere around here.
Absolutely.
Do you want me to roll or just use
No,
strength?
I'll give you, if you're looking specifically for that, you can take 20 on that.
Okay.
While they're taking 20, looking through all this loot. Anything else anyone's doing in this time? Just 20 minutes or so.
I'll have asked Azaka to keep her eyes on the grung.
Yeah, she is definitely not taking her eyes off the ground. She's definitely like very worried about not being able to bring a party back to Port Hope here. As she's watching as more and more grung seem to be appearing up in the trees. She seems awful worried and awful on edge. But they are not attacking. That much is at least a victory in her mind at the moment. As you guys sift through, as I said, there's lots of feathers, painted rocks, bones, skulls. But you manage to find a number of other things. There is a climber's kit that you guys put together, a full intact climber's kit, a dungeoneer's kit, once you get all the pieces together, a potion of climbing, 2 potions of healing, a very interesting looking staff that one of you thought was a stick, and then you realized that no, that's a staff, a stone carved like a kitty cat with 2 gems for eyes that looks rather interesting, and unmistakably a wand that you do not know what it is.
I just added all that to the bag of holding.
Those are the things you find. Are you taking those off of the pile? Is the question. And there is a number of gold pieces, silver pieces, and platinum pieces here that can be scooped as well. Just might take some time as the frogs look on.
I don't think we're in a position to not pay down our $2 billion debt.
The only pushback is like, do we risk taking the money to,
Azaka, these are evil creatures, right?
Yes, I've never had a good interaction with the Grom. I have killed a number in my time, but there's quite a lot of them. I do not know why they have not attacked us yet.
I'm going to cast Aid a little preemptively because it feels like the road is slanted a certain way, not by the DM, just by the situation. I'm going to cast Aid on myself. Thanks, Gorm. And then Maddie and Zendala.
Oh shit! What? I don't know what it is, but it sounds awesome.
Basically, all three of us get 5 more hit points, and our hit point max is up 5 for the rest of the day.
Dope. Five?
Yeah. And it does increase our max. So like if we were to be healed, like you can get healed up for the next 8 hours, 5 more than you used to be.
Dope.
If I reach for one of the items, you know, pick a random one. Let's the wand, let's say.
Yep.
What do the Grung do?
Similar to like that first time, very loud croaks, echoing, and like some of the trees kind of like shake around you. But as you kind of look up and look around and like kind of pull that thing in to your person, that's all it seems to be. Just a lot of croaking.
Guess we take it then.
This is the best. I'm so happy
Yes.
right now.
I say we take this. I say we take the stuff.
I'm guessing there's no chance that beautiful breastplate comes off that statue.
As you go up and kind of like look at it, you're like, oh shit, this is very much like basically a piece of this thing. Yeah, it does.
They are one.
Yeah. It is all a singular statuation. That big beautiful shield guardian.
I'm so mad at you, Michael.
Don't be mad at me.
So mad. So sad.
Be mad at VORN.
Be mad at what?
Be mad at VORN. Don't be mad at me.
Oh, VORN. Yeah. I thought you said Gorm, and I was like, well, I am mad at Gorm. He hit me with a javelin.
But if
you
that
should-
would have worked, we would have been best friends, right?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
You should be mad at VORN. The statue just stands there in a badass stance, just looking over you. So you take all of these things from in front of it.
Do we go greedy and take some platinum too?
No,
No.
we do not.
Why not? We already took all this stuff.
We don't need more platinum. Not from here.
He
We have a
says
$2 billion debt to pay down thanks to Mythos.
It's not
He
that
says-
much.
with 109,000.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Gold piece set. There's definitely some platinum here. Definitely some platinum.
Let's get some platinum.
Who knows? There's gold pieces here too. You want to stick around, and start counting it up? You tell me. It's
I'm
up
with
to you.
Tiny. My vote
It's
is
up to you.
we've pushed our luck. But
yeah, Gorm would say no. Like he's all for an honorable death, but that wouldn't be for money.
You've got your wand,
What else? Are you
maybe
taking
the
anything else?
staff.
We took all of that stuff. Did
Yeah,
we just
what do
say
you-
that?
What do you take? What are you taking?
I was like, I think he's wanting you to specifically go one by one.
Yeah, I just
Oh,
wanna
okay,
know.
okay.
I took it as you were just taking the wand to see what their reaction was.
No, I misunderstood. I thought like it was like, okay, we're taking all this stuff, and over time, everything you listed we put in the bag. Is that
That's
not
up
what?
to you. No, yeah, that's up to
Okay.
you. Do you guys want to have everything or nothing, or just the wand?
I want to not fight literally an army of frogs
There's a lot of frogs.
in every sense of the name.
A lot of frogs. Frogs, you don't know. Maybe frogs are fun. Frogs are a good time. Some people say.
I like the
I've heard
try
that.
to take. I like the idea of try to take the stuff and then leave the money and go. Go and like go one at a time, just putting stuff in the bag.
All right, I've taken the wand. Maddie then grabs the staff.
Puts it in the bag.
Each time you pick up a thing, be it a staff, the whatever you took the first time,
The wand.
the wands. Yeah, it's just these loud, these aggressive croaks from these frogs above. These frogs in the 10s, 20s, 30s. Small battalion of frogs. Mostly green in color, some of orange, some of yellow. All of them holstering their weapons and just croaking at you from above. It's like we all look exactly dancing frog gift.
Yep, that's what I was picturing.
Yeah. Oh my god. Sometimes you click on.
So
Okay,
we've taken all that stuff, or just the two things we've specifically stated out loud, Michael?
Up to you. So far, the two things.
Okay,
That's
that's
all
what
I
I was
know.
clarifying.
I mean, we just want to go back and forth down on that list.
Yeah, stone carved like a kitty cat.
Yeah, you take it and they just croak. They just croak. You got, what do you got? You got a wand. You got a kitty cat stone. You got a staff.
Yep. We have Maddie then
Potions?
grabs the 2 potions of healing.
Love that. You love to see it. They croak. They just croak aggressively at you. The more you shovel into that bag, they just continue to croak. You get a potion of climbing. They croak. You take those Dungeoneers kit, that Climbers kit. They croak. They hate it. But all they do is croak.
Yeah.
And then a lot of copper, a lot of silver, a lot of gold pieces, and maybe some platinum. Just, and you know, if you guys want bones, you want painted rocks, feathers, those are all there too, mixed in. Gamos, what are you doing in this chaos? I'm just curious. You and
Almost is
Mythos.
just standing by, watching the grung, letting the party decide whether or not they want to grab the shit or not.
I love it.
Doesn't matter to Gamos.
Gamos is
He
chill.
doesn't know what money debts are.
I say we bolt.
All right. Got all the listed items, and let's get out of here.
Love it. Azaka looks to you. And, where would you like to go? Where should we head? And she pulls out the map.
Same.
This is your map. I'm just
Great
holding
south.
it. I'm just holding it for now.
Can you mark this as Shield Guardian Temple?
Yeah, I will. Like, oh god. It's over. Delete. Move back in GM layer. Click. Show to players. Token layer. VORN. VORN is now marked on your map. And that is where you are currently.
I think we should go to Vengeance personally, but could also get talked into going straight to the Oracle.
Azaka will say, going straight to Orlanga from here is all jungle travel. If we go back to the river or go to Camp Vengeance, there is a chance we can make more headway in the river before more jungle. It is up to you.
I like Vengeance first.
Yeah, let's go back to the
Agreed.
river and see if we can pick up some time on the river just to, a little easier travel.
Go back the way we came and pick up
Yep.
our canoes. She will nod and agree to start leading you back in the direction that you guys have previously come from. Beautiful. Okay. So with all your new gubbins in your bag, let me just pile you guys up together again. Life easier. I'll just make sure to leave VORN there. There he is. To just hang out alone in the jungle. Because I understand that's what you guys want. Just leave VORN there. I get it. Really just trying to make Marshall angry is all.
I'm very aware of what you're doing.
Okay.
We're going to be at the southern tip of the damn continent, find the real amulet. And Brett's like, we're out. Brett, it's like 300 miles. No choice.
I mean, you find the real
I
amulet.
mean Marshall.
You can probably just summon the thing to you, right?
Well, that's
Isn't that
true, yeah, because I just have to be on the same plane, I think.
And know and you know the word, so you
Yeah.
just like find the amulet and
Who's
There
to
you go.
say how one of
Thanks,
who's to
Colin.
say how one of those things works? Who's to say? I don't know. You're asking the wrong person. As you guys start to head out, following Azaka back on the path that you came, start moving through the jungle as a group of adventurers does. Things you notice as you start to go. The Grum hop from tree to tree and seem to follow your journey. As you guys start moving out through the jungle, you look behind you, and the croaking has seemingly, like, it started up as you started to move and then kind of slowed down and stopped. And as you guys have started moving further down the pathway and then into the jungle from whence you came, you can look behind you and you see from tree to tree as these frogs are like jumping and following behind you. This group that has come to maybe in a number of close to 30 frogs now. and they're keeping pace about 40 to 50 feet back, jumping from tree to tree, like kind of just like following your movements in the jungle. Not croaking at this point, rather now just kind of silently leaping from tree to tree. You can hear the shrubs move as they go. And just seeming to follow you through the jungle. Anything you'd like to do?
Nope.
Continue on.
I don't have any ideas, do y'all?
Just leave.
Yeah.
All right. As you keep going, you get to that maybe an hour, 2 hours at this point, and you continue to note like maybe the frogs are like 45 to 60 feet back at their closest, but you can still see them from time to time, following in that kind of same direction that you are moving, following you through the jungle as you guys head out back that way you came. And you know ahead of you is a 5-day journey back to the temple of the man crocodile, where your canoes are. And after 2 hours of travel with these grunts still following you, Azaka will like turn. Oh, you may need to be quite aware on watch if these things are going to continue following us. As I said, I do not know why they have not. And then she kind of stops. It's probably like 3-4 o'clock at this point. And then she like turns and looks forward, and about 50 feet ahead of you, there is a line of 8 goblins standing. Just 8 goblins across. One of them is standing in front of all the others, and this is that same goblin that you had seen previously that looked like he was
The new leader.
kind of in charge of these goblins, yeah. And I'm just gonna throw you on a little map so you can see what I'm envisioning in my brain. Pay no attention to the fact that this map may look like a map that you've already been on before. It's just a random jungle map.
And you said the Grung are somewhere that way, 60 feet.
About 60 feet behind you, as far as you can tell.
So Maddie's gonna see this, and she's gonna look and whisper to Brett and be like, "Give them the fake amulet back."
Interesting idea, Maddie. Like, if the goblins doing anything, or like they walking forward to meet us, or are they just standing there?
Currently, they're just standing, one of which is standing in front of the others. They have no weapons drawn.
I will step forward.
As you step forward, the main goblin steps forward. The largest of the goblins. Looks like that because of course.
I love how the illustration you can clearly see
There's another goblin on top of him.
on top of him. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
so cute.
It's really good.
That's not 3 goblins in a trench coat. I don't know what you're talking about.
Nope.
I don't remember who that is, but it's very good. Just on top of each other. Yeah, you actually notice that they are not, in fact, standing there. It is my favorite. But they're not, in fact, all atop each other in a battle stack. They're all just flanked out.
What is it, goblin? Speak now.
As you say that, he like puts his like shoulders and like really like gets low with his hands up. You no speak, goblin. Rookie speak some. You chief of tribe?
Fantastic. Yes, I am chief of tribe.
Wilkie is chief of tribe. Chieftain Harley?
Yes, and I will beckon him forward.
Okay, this goblin turns back to all his other goblins and like basically gives them something in goblin, and they all look a little less tense, though still none of them have their weaponry out. And he starts stepping forward to kind of meet you in this middle ground.
Totally how I saw this session going, y'all. Brett becoming a goblin chief.
As you slowly approach, this small goblin with very large mask looks up at you through his mask, and you can kind of see there's a relatively small goblin. I mean, he's probably pretty average size. His mask is much bigger than it warrants it being. Me rookie. And you are?
Brett. Brett the Brave.
Brave Brett. Me rookie. What is your tribe? And he kind of like looks past you to the group.
Oh. I will gesture adventurers.
You can see him mull over that word for a minute.
Yeah.
And he just kind of nods. We are exiles. We followed Yaka. And when he says Yaka, he like there's some amount of vitriol behind his words. Rookie is new chieftain. If ventures go past exiles, Grum will kill.
Kill you?
Kill you.
Oh. Why?
He kind of like looks past and looks to the ground. Grung angry. Something you did?
Thank you, Ruki. Why do you tell me this?
Brett. Where VORN? And he like kind of like motions to the thing around your neck.
Mm-hmm.
And you say, Yoka. Where VORN? Now Brett, where VORN? We. And he kind of points back to the line of them behind him. We followed Yoka because grab stab exiled us.
Grab stab?
Yes. Grab stab. She claimed queen now. She says Iron God VORN favor her, not Yoka. We believe Iron VORN favor Yoka, which seems to not be true. Now Iron VORN favor Brett.
Did grab stab have a VORN?
Yes, grab stab VORN is fake.
How do you know?
Because that is VORN real. He points at your neck.
Where is grab stab?
Biting ant camp.
Biting ant camp? How far to biting ant camp?
Days. Exile's not allowed there. Unless grab stab is dead.
Michael's having fun with his voice now, guys.
Yeah, can't help it. It's too good.
How do we lose the grung?
What do you do to anger them?
We claimed some of the offering.
Kind of like thinks it over for a second. Grung no like VORN necklace. They no believe. Must prove. Prove favor.
You are wise, Ruki, and will be a great and powerful chieftain.
He stands a little taller. It's hard for him to do.
Yeah.
At 3'4".
Yeah. I feel like this entire time Brett's been on one knee.
It's very respectful.
Is there a place where we may hide from Grung?
Grung, hard to hide from. And he kind of like looks up at the trees. Grung will not hurt if inside peace zone. Peace zone end. And he points to his line of tribesmen. Inside peace zone, no blood.
Okay. Is that their territory? I'll point past the peace zone.
No, they come from far. And he actually points like further south.
Gotcha.
All worship Iron God.
They worship VORN?
All worship VORN. They know trust. And he points to your necklace.
Gotcha. Thank you, Ruki. Allow me to consult with my tribe.
Yes. Oh, and I will consult. And he turns around and starts walking back to his tribe.
Yeah. I'll come back to the group. This has been a very strange day, y'all. Apparently we are in the peace zone. And our friend Ruki over there has warned me that if we are to pass where they stand, the Grung will murder us on the spot.
Like no matter what? Or do you fill us in on what we all heard?
Oh, I was just giving y'all time to respond. Yeah, seems they all worship the Shield Guardian, but this the Yaka fake VORN medallion they do not trust. So I think if we destroy it, or maybe show them that we're destroying it, they might let us go. They also, Ruki also informed me that those 8 are exiled from the main tribe, who's now being led by Queen Grabstab, who might have the real medallion, which might be worth checking out.
I say we trade. We give them the fake medallion, and they tell us how to get to Grabstab. And they're probably not gonna. They've probably just been hanging out here in the peace zone. They're not gonna go anywhere. The Grung watch them. We walk out, and they tell us how to go get the real one.
It's a good idea. Michael, with how big is VORN? Like just
8
normal?
feet tall.
No, the medallion.
Oh, the medallion? Yeah, just like a
Normal necklace size.
necklace. Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, maybe
okay.
it's a little like over, like a survivor immunity necklace.
Yeah, but smaller than 5 feet.
Oh yeah.
Okay. It's a good idea, Maddie. Well, I will admit, it is kind of fun having these goblins think that, we're gods.
After a small amount of time, he will just kind of like come back sort of to the center, just as if he's waiting
Okay.
for you to rejoin.
Before you leave, Brett, Gorm would proffer that he would not think destroying the medallion would do anything. We're going to have to fight the Grong, or we're going to have to fight the goblin and take the real necklace, is what he would think. We're not walking out of there without that shield guardian.
Well, we have to go. We're days away from that.
Yeah, we're 5 days away from the grab stab.
Yeah, but that is probably within the peace zone. Like, they'd let us go do that, right?
I will go back to Rookie. Rookie or Rookie?
Rookie.
Rookie.
But watch him, Brett, because Grabstab exiled them, and this could just be them trying to get us to go do their dirty work for them.
I mean, there could be 2 fake amulets.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, are both of these just fake? I will.
A lot of layers in these goblin
Yeah.
games. Who thought this is what we were doing tonight, guys?
No. I'll go back. Rookie is grab stab in the peace zone.
Grab stab outside peace zone. But Grung would never attack Yelyark.
Yelyark.
Yes, that is tribe home of Biting Ants tribe.
Would they follow us there?
Not outside peace zone. Unless they still angry. Then they may try to kill you.
Can I do a history check? Do I think the Grung got more aggressive when I did my whole speech thing, or when we started taking stuff?
Yeah. You, even without that check, you get the sense they were equally aggressive, but that their aggressiveness definitely escalated as you guys were shoveling things into the bag.
Got it. Okay. Sorry, I'm reading Minor Illusion to make sure I don't cheat. How far to what do you call Grabstab's home?
Yelyark.
How far to Yelyark, Rookie?
6.
6?
6 sons, I believe. 2 per day, if I'm not mistaken. But the DM doesn't remember the travel rules. I believe it is 6 to Yelyark. One hex per day. Oh, okay, you get 1 per day. 1, 2, 3. Half as much. I was confused. 3 sons.
Well, let me go consult with my tribe again, Rookie.
A good leader must consult with tribe.
Yes, you are wise, and will lead your tribe well.
Tribe! And he turns around and yells at his tribe.
So Yelyark is three days away. He says the Grung won't attack us. We can try that, or I can just give the necklace to him, or I could fake give the necklace to him, because I will use a minor illusion to like subtly like make one in my hand, and like this kind of looks like the real thing, doesn't it?
I thought he said it. They wouldn't attack us. It's not in the peace zone, right?
It is not in the peace zone, but he said they would never attack there. I heard that right, Michael?
He said they would never attack Yelyark.
Yelyark, yeah.
What about between?
Yeah, he just said they would never attack Yelyark
Gotcha.
specifically.
Because how I'm imagining this peace zone is, it's like everyone worships the Iron God, right? So like there's kind of like a sphere of they're not going to attack because we're all worshiping this, but like we step outside the 200-foot radius or whatever of the holy God, and then it's free game.
Yeah, probably. Well, what do we think? We can drop the stuff that we took and just get out of here. We can.
Vorn's vote is to drop the stuff we took and go to the Goblin City because he still thinks that we were sent here. That 1 in 100 and then 2 in 100 dice roll was not luck in his mind, and he will go to bat for doing what we are called to do.
Anyone else have votes?
Yeah, I'm still just give up the amulet. It seems like that's what they don't like. More of the stuff, from what I've understood. So, I mean, you got to RP your character if Brett like is going to refuse to give it up. Like,
no, he's not. Yeah.
But I still think just give them the amulet and be like, here you go. You keep watch. We'll go deal with. We'll go knock out the Pretender, and you stay here and watch the Shield Guardian for us in the meantime, Chief.
Does Azaka know where Yelyark is?
No, asking her, she'll say, like, I know where generally the Biting Ant territory is. But I've not. They tend to move their encampment.
Gotcha.
Apparently called Yelyark.
Okay.
Are the goblins smart enough to give us a hex?
The goblins are just smart enough to tell you it's 3 days in that direction.
Yeah.
Or lead you there. If you ask him, he could lead you there. But if he'll let you also know that if he's seen there, he will be killed. So he needs certain protections. He's gonna lead you there. Also, he does not want to be with you if these Grung are still mad. He does not want to be seen as a member of whatever you've done to them.
Tiny, Gamos, any thoughts?
Not particularly.
It seems like they're mad. Maybe at the necklace. Probably that we took some of their offering.
Yeah.
Yeah, you must remember the goblins did not. The goblins left pretty early.
Yeah,
as they were instructed, so they don't know what's going on.
Rookie, you have demonstrated yourself to be a wise and great leader of your tribe. Through all this time that I've known you, you've gone above and beyond the call of a true chieftain. I would like to bestow Volo or Vorn to you, excuse me. And so that you may lead your tribe while we have other business in the jungle. Would also ask you to go ahead and move your tribe away in the peace zone, so that we may see if the Grung are appeased or if they are still angry with us.
Oh. He like kind of like gets down on a knee and like puts his hands out,
Mm-hmm.
like just like.
Yeah, I will drape the necklace over him.
Yeah, as you put that necklace over him, like there's like a visible shudder as like the necklace is draped on his shoulders, and like as he stands back up, you can feel him standing just a little bit taller, and he gives you like this like solid nod, turns around to his tribe and says something in Goblin, and then starts leading them in this general direction. As they trot off into the jungle. And as the goblins leave into the jungle, you are yet again alone, except for that 30-odd Grung still about 60 feet behind you, croaking. Very quietly croaking. You can see them in the distance, still in the trees. You can see a few of them maybe hopped over a little bit and are watching as the goblins disappear into the flank. But most of the Grung are still watching on. Still no weapons drawn. Mayhaps because you're in the peace zone. But still watching on this.
Well, should we just dump the stuff?
Could throw one,
Honestly,
take one out and see how they react.
Dump the 2 kits on the ground.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I like that plan.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll dump the climbing kit and the dungeoneer's kit.
Actually, Maddie will take them and she will hustle back to the shrine and put them, knowing it's the peace zone, she'll put the kids by the shrine.
You guys are like 2 hours away from the shrine.
Oh, never
Yeah.
mind. Never mind. She'll start to do that, and then Gorm or Gamos will grab her shoulder and be like, "Nope."
Like, that's a long run, Maddie.
Put it on
No,
the
but
ground
no,
here.
but a good idea, Maddie. Go and put it at the tree at the base of one of their trees.
Yeah.
All right, so you're putting the climbing kit and the dungeoneer's kit at the base of the tree.
And we'll be like, "Sorry, guys."
As you set them at the bottom of the tree and kind of slowly start to walk back to your group,
Our tribe.
your tribe, as it were. You see a couple Grung kind of like come down the sides of the trees, but very tree froggy like, and snatch up the kits and sprint up the trees. And there's like this croaking back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then the croaking grows louder in your general direction. And you see a lot of movement in the trees, but generally you see all of the grunts, at least, as many of the grunts still staring down at you from the trees and croaking at a distance of about 45 feet. Still just staring and waiting.
We're gonna have to give it all.
Yeah.
Like Gorm would know if somebody took something from the shrine of his god, he would cleave them down where they stood.
Yeah. Before we dump everything, one last attempt. Maddie will pull the stone carved like a kitty cat and put that back.
I just like have this like image of like holding it up, walking to the base of the tree, setting it down. Slowly walking up.
Just imagine it's a Neko cat.
Watching all these. Yes. Watching all these grun, and as you slowly walk away, another one sprints down, snatches it up, and runs up the tree. And there's this croaking back and forth, and then this ominous croaking again, still towards you, as they're adamantly seeming and waiting for the return of their tribute.
All right, fine.
To the Iron God.
As we're like getting the stuff out, when Brett pulls the wand out, because he's got a wand, he knows the concepts.
Sure.
He's just gonna try and see what it does.
Roll an Arcana check.
Who knows? Maybe a fireball will come out. It's like, oh, we're fighting actually, guys. Sorry.
Fireball stealth. I love it. Never know. Yeah, so as you pull it out, you're like I swear. Get this. Just hit it a few times, maybe. There's this like only that since you are this holder of the wand, you are the one holding it. There's this like radius of pulse, kind of this like radar-like energy that pulses out into the jungle, and as it does, any auras of magical things around you, mostly the things that your friends are now holding that you have pulled out of the thing, are illuminated with these like auras of magic.
Ooh, wand of detect magic.
It seems to be something along those lines, yes.
That's cool. What's the staff lighting up with?
Actually, that's a good question. I want to say transmutation.
Yeah, I was kind of curious in the staff.
That's my guess, is transmutation. Yeah. Transmutation.
Can I do an Arcana check now, knowing that piece of information, if I can guess at what it is?
Well,
Or do I even need to?
since you're saying that and thinking that, while you're also holding that staff, that wand in your hand, you like think that to yourself, like, I wonder what transmutation, I wonder what that is. And a secondary pulse basically charges out of that same wand that you're holding. And you know that staff that maybe, I don't know, someone just pulled out of the bag of holding is a staff of the adder.
It turns people into cows.
Staff of the adder. The staff of the adder.
Adder snake.
Snake. Snaky snake. Yeah, it is a staff of the adder. And another charge of that wand has been spent.
Cool. Okay. Well,
Seems like that wand also has powers of identification.
yeah.
So
Well, as I'll have Maddie run the potions and the staff over. Before the wand leaves, though, Brett would like to try and identify the mysterious jug from the temple.
Yeah, so Brett's like, hey, pull that jug out for a second.
Yeah.
And as someone just gets the jug out, or partially out of the bag, you expend the final charge of the day of the wand. The first time ever that 3 charges of a wand of identification and detection has been used. And you do, in fact, learn that that is an alchemy jug. I believe that's what it's called. Did I forget that? I think that's what it's called. Yeah, alchemy jug. The ceramic jug appears to be able to hold a gallon of liquid. Weighs 12 pounds, whether full or empty. Sloshing sounds can be loud, blah, blah, blah. You can use an action and name 1 liquid from the table below to cause the jug to produce a chosen liquid. Afterward, you can uncork the jug as an action and pour that liquid out up to 2 gallons per minute. Maximum amount of liquid in the jug can be produced depends on the liquid you name. Once the jug starts producing a liquid, it can't produce whichever one or more of one that has reached its maximum until the next dawn. The table states acid, basic poison, beer, honey, mayonnaise, oils, vinegar,
Amazing.
water, fresh water, salt, and wine.
Cool.
Mayonnaise, 2 gallons of mayonnaise.
That's awesome.
So we can't make unlimited bottles of 1434 whiskey?
It seems
That's what I'm
you
hearing.
cannot. Whiskey is apparently not on the list, which is upsetting. Maybe you can though. It doesn't say that it has to be from the table. So who knows? Maybe you can make a small amount of whiskey per day. You just have to try. And the jug is not as pictured. It doesn't have all those freaking corks on it. This is a jug that looks very much as stated before. It's got motifs of the man and crocodile on it. It just has one opening. But I do like the one.
Well, at least we got some use out of this stuff.
Hey, you got 3 charges out of that wand.
Yeah.
That's probably more than you ever would in this adventure ever again.
Yeah.
Knowing how these wands end up getting used.
Yeah.
Just thrown in the garbage can.
Yep. I'll have Maddie take the wand back now.
All right, so you have returned the potion of climbing, the 2 potions of healing, the dungeon use clip, the climber's kit, the staff that you know is the staff of the adder, a stone that you have no idea what it was, and a wand of magic detection and identification.
Yep, everything.
As you give the last item back, the grungs all croak a few times aggressively in your direction, and then all start to go back in the direction that they came through the trees, leaving you alone in the middle of the jungle with nothing. Nothing. Empty-handed.
Nothing but the memories we made along the way.
Nothing but the memories that you made along the way. Your
And the
good
friends.
The friends are gone, turns out.
Rookie's our
Your new-
guy, though.
your new
We call
friend-
on Rookie. He's there.
Yeah, I mean, he probably is. You gave him that necklace.
Yeah.
He's definitely not feeling like he's super powerful now and could conquer the world. Definitely not. There's no way he could ever think that.
I got my highest attack roll of the campaign, so I'm feeling good about myself.
Wow, you did deal 8 whole damages to a creature.
Yep.
There's no reason to say who or what that creature was.
Nope.
At this moment in time.
Well,
The question is, where do you go from here?
yeah.
So what direction did we get? 3 days, what direction?
I will bring you to the map.
Bet it's towards the circle on the map, right?
Si, senor. You, of course, are marked by the party marker on your map. And the orange circle is the direction of which Yelyark has been pointed out in that general direction. Azaka says if that is in fact true, that she should be able to pick up signs of travel between VORN, where you guys are very close to, and Yelyark. So it should be possible to track that place down.
She got an inkling of what kind of force we're dealing with.
The full force of a Batiri Goblin tribe, the Biting Ant tribe, depends on how much they've been breeding lately, honestly, or how many encounters they've had with T-Rexes, is what she'll basically tell you. Like, it could be in the hundreds, or hopefully, if that is the place we're heading, it could be much less, but it all depends on how well the tribe has been producing goblins lately.
But probably not like 20,000.
No. Hundreds at the max. Still a force to reckon with, but sometimes if you have the opportunity to look in on an encampment of goblins from the outside, spy on them, maybe you can figure some stuff out and sneak your way in, or just charge the gates. Who's to say?
I feel like I've been in this situation before, except it was giants last time.
Except it was giants, and giants are way scarier.
They are.
Who's to say? Asked insect. It's not like you're trying to infiltrate the Zentarum. Right, Carrie?
Whoops.
There's a lot of dead PCs I can talk to.
Yeah.
None of them are my PCs, so...
I mean, both. I really don't have a strong take. Like, that Shield Guardian would be super useful and worth a ton of money. So, it's only 3 days. Maybe we can use the spyglass to get a peek at the leader and see if it is actually a real medallion, or if it's another craft project. Then it's like, all right, we get out of here, or we can just leave this all behind and do what we were meant to do and head towards vengeance.
Yeah, Zaka will just say, if he's right, 3 days to Yelyark. If we want to go to Vengeance, it's probably best just to go get our canoes. So 2 days or 3 days back to Righteous, and then day and a half to Vengeance from Righteous. Or we can just go straight to Vengeance.
We don't have our
Which would
canoes
be
anymore, do we?
4 days. Yeah, you'd have to put your canoes together.
We'd have to repair them.
Yeah, which she said it was possible.
It was possible. Or you could go straight through the jungle to Vengeance if you want. Which would be 4 days. A lot of options on the table.
My vote is to go see if we can figure out if that Shield Guardian amulet is real, especially if Tiny, who knows about these things for some reason, shares about how powerful they are. The ability to have one of those on our side would really probably help us a lot in the jungle. So I say we go chase it down.
Sandala also knows quite a bit about Shield Guardians, turns out.
So, and I will BRB. I'll be back in 5.
Yeah.
Anyone else have strong takes?
Opinion. We gotta go back to Port Hope at some point. This seems somewhat on the way back.
Yeah. It's definitely back in the same direction.
Plus, what happens when you move the linchpin in a area peace and
Oh, that'd be so
demilitarized
amazing.
zone? I mean, if we want to do that, let's do that. But
It's called
what's the awareness?
destabilization, Croft.
I feel like destabilization is, well, there's currently 2 people here that were just big proponents of destabilization in the Curse of Strahd campaign. A city got renamed in that campaign because it changed hands.
Yeah.
Which is maybe the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
I've heard the Grong have WMDs, and we need some regime change. Stat.
We can't let them go infiltrate other parts of the jungle.
Yeah, we're attacking them there, so they don't attack us here.
You know, you're not wrong. So my assumption is either way, you're not leaving until the next day. And it is, Azaka would say, if this really is a peace zone, it may be best to sleep.
Oh, yeah,
inside
you
of
think? You think?
So
And I think we're
feel
double
like these conversations are going on as the night goes on.
And I think it's
everyone is awake and looking for growing.
and I think it's safe to say double watch too.
Yeah.
At least Brett will volunteer to double watch. I don't know if it's his night or not, but he will take a double watch.
Either way, on this 15th night, yeah, that makes sense. I think everyone can watch tonight.
Will, you said did I remember right? Your vote was to go kill Grabstab.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
Preston.
like Gorm we found the spyglass, and now we're supposed to spy on this city, and we found the map, and it leads to this place, and it's just like it's
can't ignore it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, my vote would be vengeance, but
vengeance against the goblin.
camp vengeance.
I love it, Tiny. Yeah,
Gamos.
nice.
Gamos is with Tiny in vengeance. Vengeance.
I will say every time we say vengeance, I think of the Batman movie starring Robert Pattinson.
Vengeance.
And yeah, it's like, who are you? Vengeance.
Yeah, vengeance has 2 meanings right now.
Yeah.
We go into the camp vengeance, or are we going to exact vengeance?
In a camp.
To the camp.
I think
Yeah.
I'm voting to exact vengeance, or at least go look at Grabstab.
There's a lot of options here.
Yeah. I mean, I can see value in just spying.
Yeah, I'm not committing to assaulting a 200-person goblin encampment, but we can get a.
Yeah. But Gamos' still vote is the go to Camp Vengeance.
I think it's 3-2.
I don't remember what Connor wants to do.
Connor said, "No, well, there he is. He can speak for himself." Oh, I thought he was there.
Yeah, obviously Azaka and Zendala don't care. They'll go
Nope.
with either. They can lead you. Azaka is happy to lead to either. If going to Yeliark and then that leads back to Port Hope, she's into that idea because of Firefinger, obviously. She does want to get her mask back at some point, and that kind of leads her closer to that. But if your aim is to hit Vengeance and go on to Orlonga, she wants to be your guide to those places. She's all in. She's all in on the journey at this point. Zendala, if Yelyark and then Port Hope is your thing, like, yeah, she's not like super into Port Hope because she wants to stay out in the jungle to find her father, hopefully. But she also is very much alone for the ride. So she also sees the benefit of getting a shield guardian on your side, if that is even a smidgen possibility.
Yeah, because I'm not thinking we are automatically going to Port Hope afterwards.
No, I'm just saying
Okay.
if that's harsh, if that's like if you are going backwards, it's like, well, maybe this is the time to re-hit Port Hope, visit again. Then that is definitely a possibility. A lot of options.
Yeah, I think it would be useful. I also don't think we'd have a problem walking out of there if the literal thing they're worshiping is subservient to us.
I don't know. How would Gorm feel if some stranger came along, possessed a statue of his god, and forced it to do their bidding?
Well, I think if Ernsai, through their own doing, followed their chosen one, he would fall in line. Probably be a persuasion check. Like, is this... Like, he would have a hard time thinking that somebody would be able to dupe a god. Like, this would, in his mind, be the god choosing a champion sort of thing. Because gods are undupable in his mind. But that, I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying. That might not be the way the Grung think.
We're still deadlocked, Connor.
Aren't there 5 of us?
We couldn't remember how you voted.
I voted to go get the shield guardian. Or a Tetsu.
There it is.
Go to the goblins.
All right. The Yelyark it is.
Where were the lines drawn?
Protest.
Croft and Preston voted Vengeance.
All right. Chaos.
Let chaos reign.
Let the Lord of Chaos reign.
So after some heavy conversation in the night as the watches started, it seemed the party would decide that Yelyark was the most beneficial place to head. Not necessarily to storm into the camp and take what may or may not be theirs, but at least to take a peep and look in on the goblins, see what may or may not be going on there with the Biting Ant tribe. 3 days away to the northeast, and as you wake up on this, your 15th, 16th, something along those lines, day in the jungle. Who wants to roll in the black box?
What's the roll?
Investigation or Arcana.
I'm flat 0 on both, so
I'm a negative.
I rolled hot on it last time, so I'm happy to try it again.
Anybody else?
Does it matter if it's a good roll or not? Do we even know?
We don't
Is
know.
it just like a random roll?
Who's to say?
Yeah, we have no idea. I got it to work last time. I'm gonna
Hell yeah.
assume I have the trick. I obviously do. That's incredible.
That's incredible.
Brett will never die. Nicely done. Brett, as you start fiddling with the black box, you know exactly how to make that thing work. And You start to hear this fuzz on the other end. Rue! We made camp under a massive stone bridge. Seth estimates it spans near 100 feet across the gorge, and at least as high. Monkeys were crawling all over the damn thing, and never stopped shrieking. Their cries echoed up and down the gorge all night long. I bet we'd have needed a few hundred more arrows to get any real peace and quiet. I don't think any of us got any sleep. Yet, onward we must go. For the Yellow Banner. Lord Brixton. And then it fades out.
Zaka, do you know of a stone bridge like that anywhere?
Zaka immediately goes to your map, pulling it out and pointing to one Ataz Muhahaha. Yep, it's really called that. Where you will see the yellow mark. Now upon it. Yes, there is a bridge known to be covered by shrieking monkeys. Here, it is named aptly for them. It seems this is the place your Yellow Banner took up camp for the night.
Okay.
And into the jungle. You trek?
Yep.
Towards Yelyak. And why not just do it live? Got the book. Got the random tables. We've got 3 days of travel that are currently unmapped because this is not the direction that I pre-rolled you going on. Who would have thought? So let's just find out. Let's just find out for next time where we are going. We have a guide, so you don't have to worry about that. That's great. But for the encounters,
I would love to know what parties were stupid enough to not hire a guide.
Yeah.
They're really not that expensive, you know?
I don't understand. There's a lot of ways to get guides for free. It seems wild to not take one up, but people are insane. All right. Sorry, let me go to the correct appendices. Okay, here we go. I need 3 d20s to start with. Whoever wants to get to those first, feel free. A 12, a 17, and one more d20, please. Beautiful. Okay. Beautiful. 1 d100.
Connor doesn't have the touch with the D100 that I have. Connor, last session I rolled a 1 and then I rolled a 2 right after it. It's pretty funny.
Okay, at least would be jungle. No one there. Scrolling. I wonder if they have tables in this thing. Oh boy. Halfway into your day. A lot of flipping through pages here. Well, yeah. Oh, there we go. Can I get 3d6? It's fun doing this live.
Separate or
Just
together?
all together, yeah. 11. As you guys are moving through the jungle, wait for it. Wait for it. What's my highest passive perception?
It's whatever Tiny is, right?
I've got 16. I think Nate was one higher. He was either 16 or 17.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And Maddie's a 15.
16.
So perceptive.
16 is good enough. For Tiny, as you guys are moving through the jungle one day, almost as if you guys are just moseying along, doing your thing, almost as if out of nowhere, bursting forth from nearby underbrush and bushes are some small dinos that seemingly mayhap's been stalking you for some amount of time. As they burst out, you are agile enough and aware enough to point them out. And there is no surprise round as we start next week. As
Dino fight.
you will face 11 Doug's